Hello, everyone, and welcome to Molehill Mountain, episode 129. Andrew Eisen here, along with Zachary Knight. Hello, Zachary.
Hello, Andrew. Hello, everybody out there. How was your week this week?
Still recover. I'm still trying to shake off the cold or whatever I had last week, and I actually worked from home all week, which was kind of nice because I got to concentrate on my work without people walking over to bother me. So,
nice.
Although it is somewhat because I have like TV and or video games over here. There's the temptation to just, while this software is loading, I can go play a video game for 40 seconds. So,
yeah, but, there's a fun comic I read. I forget which website it was on, but it was and I think it was XKCD. It's like it's like your code is compiling is the best excuse for goofing off, and it's like two guys were jousting in office chairs, and their boss is like, "Hey, what are you guys doing?" It's like, "Our code's compiling." It's like, "Okay, carry on." So yeah, good stuff. Yeah, web development, you don't really get that luxury, just because nothing compiles on the web; it all just runs, and yeah.
Well, a lot of what I do does, sometimes I'm waiting, but there are some things I do that can take a long time. Software packages to download, different systems to run. Some of them actually do take a long time, but usually waiting for an inventory to host, a job to host on Wi-Fi, or for something to connect to the network, normally not longer than a minute. So not a whole heck of a lot of time to just, I'll go do something else while I wait. But yeah, it was actually. Matthew says, "Yeah, you picked the wrong career."
Yeah.
But I probably should have taken a sick day, but I'm like, man, I don't want to start the year using a sick day. I ended the year using 2 sick days, and I wasn't sick. I just had the sick days, so I used them because I lose them at the end of the year.
Yeah, my last job, the sick days, a certain number or certain percentage carried over. Like if you didn't use them all, you could carry over like 10 hours or whatever, or something along those lines. But all vacation days carried over up until you had like
160
3 days or 3 months saved up. Then you had to start using them. But
I don't think I got sick over the break. I think I got sick coming back. I think I caught something on the airplane ride back.
Oh, yeah,
that would be my guess.
Yeah,
that's the problem with being a introverted, antisocial curmudgeon, is I don't go out, and so my immune system sucks. Every time I go out and spend time with other people, my immune system is, no, what is all this?
See, I have kids, so I'm an introvert, but I have kids, so my immune system has plenty of stuff to battle. Because my kids, they go out and get all the sicknesses, and I have to deal with it. So
Matthew says the lesson is don't see family, just stay home and play video games. Make it hard to argue with that.
Yeah. I wish I had time to just sit and play video games all day long.
Yeah. But I gotta work to make money.
Yeah, I know.
Buy the video games. So I'm currently downloading Resident Evil 2 one-shot demo, and
this is the one that you can only play for 30 minutes, right? Because
yeah,
I read about.
That's my understanding. It's just it's a vertical slice or maybe it's probably not a vertical slice. It's probably just a small section of the game. Like start here, when you get to this point, it automatically ends, but you only have 30 minutes to do it. If you don't complete the portion of the demo in 30 minutes, it's like bye. But which is fine. But the thing that makes me curious is, why is it called one shot demo? I mean, it may. Do you only
Because
have
you
one
only have
bullet?
one shot. Yeah.
No, you
What?
don't. You have
Well,
plenty of bullets. Do you only get one chance at this, and then you're gonna have to buy the game? No, I think you can play it as much as you
nope.
want.
Nope. Because one of my Facebook friends said that it's tied to your PSN account. You have 30 minutes on that PSN account, and then you can't play it anymore. Literally.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, then that makes sense.
Yeah. So that's why it's called the one shot demo, because you get one shot to play it, and then you're done.
Yeah, on the PS4 at least, it's 7.911 gigs, and it apparently still has 57 minutes left, so that's
Wow.
fine. As I'm busy playing Danganronpa uh, Ultra Despair Girls. That's what it's
Ultra
called.
Despair Girls.
So there's Danganronpa 1, and followed by the sequel, both of which I've played now and quite enjoyed, although they are very long-winded. You know how God, which one was it? I think it was Super Paper Mario. Ignoring the fact that this is not my Paper Mario, it's a good game, but I think everyone agreed that it just got way too long-winded in some of the dialogue sections. You're like, okay, oh my God, let me play the game. Danganronpa really needs a story editor. Someone to say, okay, let me look at this 8-page scene. Okay, yeah, we could easily get this down to a page and a half. There's no reason for this to be 8 pages. The game I'm playing right now, Ultra Despair Girls, is probably a 35 to 40 hour game, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's only really about 8 hours of actual gameplay in it. The rest of it's cutscenes and conversations and stuff. So Matthew says you're playing a visual novel, Andrew. Of course it's long-winded. Well, yes, but even if this were just a novel, it's too long-winded. They say the same, they reiterate the same stuff over and over. It just needs an editor. There's nothing really bad about what's being said. The writing isn't poor. It's just way too long-winded and verbose. They just go forever to the point where you're like, not because you're bored, but because they're just kind of spinning their wheels on the same topic. And all of the games have that problem to an extent.
Yeah.
But still very enjoyable. I really like them. And Ultra Despair Girls, the first two are kind of like Phoenix Wright.
Yeah.
You wander around and you interact with people, and then a murder happens, and you investigate the crime scene, and then you have a trial, and you use the evidence that you found to make your case. And that's the game. It's a lot of fun. Ultra Despair Girls is kind of like the Yakuza Dead Souls of the series. It's a 3D shooter in which you control the sister of one of the main characters who's trapped in a town with a bunch of the killer robot bears. And she has a gun shaped like a megaphone. And she runs around shooting the stuffed bears, or the mechanical bears.
Is it a rifle?
No, it's
a handgun.
It's a handgun.
Yeah.
It looks exactly like a megaphone.
Because I was going to say, the blunderbuss, an old scattershot muzzle loader that has that wide bell, megaphone shaped bell.
Well, this gun
end.
shoots different bullet types, including a dance bullet that when you hit an enemy with it goes. It just stops in place and starts dancing. It's pretty funny. Matthew says Danganronpa is Phoenix Wright crossed with Battle Royale, and that describes the game pretty much. Imagine if the consequences of losing your trial in Phoenix Wright is not only does Phoenix Wright die, everyone in the courtroom dies. The prosecution, the defense, the judge, the gallery, everyone, but the criminal gets off scot-free because you screwed up, and everyone else dies. That's what it is. But yeah, Ultra Despair. I'm almost done. I beat the game. I'm just going back through and picking up some of the goodies that I missed, because as you explore the town, there are different files and notes that people left behind, and books and manga and weird stuff that you can find. And what's fun is you can read them, and they're interesting to read. But the girls that you play as will often, the game will stop and have a little vignette where the girls talk about the book or manga or whatever the heck they just picked up, and those are kind of charming, because the girl who follows you, or your main character around, has a split personality, who's a serial killer named Genocide Jack. And Genocide Jack is probably my favorite character in the entire series, mainly due to the amazing vocal performance that makes it so damn funny. Hello, Suzanne. Hello, Chaos. Saw you come in. Anyway, great games. Really enjoying them. I need to get Danganronpa 3, but Spike Chunsoft seems to have printed like 5 copies of that game because it's always really expensive.
Nice.
I'm just waiting for it to drop to a price I'm willing to pay.
Yeah.
It's currently on sale in the PSN for like $41, but I'd like to get it cheaper, and I'd also like to have a physical copy.
Yeah.
I went ahead and got digital copies of Danganronpa 1 and 2 and Ultra Despair Girls, because again, I think they're out of print, and the physical copies are just super expensive. But I got them for like $15 on the PSN, so that's good.
Okay.
Matthew says that and the Zero Escape series spawned a whole subgenre of killing game virtual novels. Yeah, the Zero Escape games I like too. I have oh god, what's the last one? Zero Time Dilemma, which I've not played yet, but 999 and Virtue's Last Reward, I think, is the other one I played on the handhelds. Both very good. Matthew says the bear in that series, Monokuma, by the person who did the Japanese equivalent of Mickey Mouse. So if you understand that, it makes it even more creepy. Yeah, the machine bear, who's the antagonist in the game, has a very high-pitched, adorable voice, making it a pretty creepy juxtaposition. So I think. Oh, you didn't, Susan? You didn't like Zero Time Dilemma? Huh. I'll have to. I'll have to keep that in mind while I play it. See what I think. So yeah, great games. I just on a whim played the demo for 3 and was like, I need this entire series. So sometimes
Nice.
sometimes demos actually do sell you on the game. So you've been playing anything this week?
Not a whole lot. I played some more Final Fantasy II, the NES one, and I'm enjoying it. It's not too bad. I still find the leveling system is still a pain in the butt, but for the most part, I was able to level up enough that the first section of the game that I just completed was a fair breeze. I didn't have too many problems with it. So yeah, it's not too bad. I do miss, just straight up levels and experience points though. That's always so much nicer. Just makes things so much easier. Either that or it's either I like that where it's just everything just goes up on its own and you don't have to worry about it, or I was playing Torchwood. No, Torchlight. I played Torchlight a little bit a couple of weeks ago, and that one you get skill points as you level up, and you just assign the skill points to what you want to increase, and I like that as well. So it's either let me easily manage what I want to advance, or just advance things on its own. So either one of those are nice, but this whole having to perform certain actions to level up certain skills or attributes is it's really annoying. Sometimes it can be fun. Like I don't mind, just sitting there and grinding, or I guess I'm exploiting a coding bug with the way weapon skills and spells advance. But everything else is just kind of, it's like, okay, I need some more HP. Let's go into a battle and beat my own characters up for a little bit, and then and then win the battle so I can get some HP. And then when you try to do that, the monsters decide to run away, because in this game the monsters run away on a fairly frequent basis, and if your HP is not low enough before all the monsters are either dead or killed or run away, then you don't get the HP increase, because you have to get your HP below half of your max HP. And in that battle, if your HP is like 3/4 of the way when you start the battle and you go below half, that doesn't count. You have to actually reduce it by half in one battle. And then same thing with MP. If you want to increase your MP, you got to reduce your MP. But with that, you only have to lower it by 1/4 in order to get the increase, which is a little more manageable. And once you get spells that use more MP than just one, it makes it a lot easier. But yeah, other than that, I haven't done a whole lot of gaming this week, unfortunately. Just, it's hard to find time when you got a job and kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the only things about adulthood that I don't like. I don't have as much time as I had when I was young, because I had no responsibilities. Well, not none, but as long as I got my homework done, which I think I did most of my homework in school. I don't think I ever bothered bringing it home much, unless it was just like a report or something that took a lot of time. But get home from school at 2:33, whatever in the afternoon, and I got the rest of the day to do whatever. Just watch TV, play video games. I don't have to drive anywhere. I don't have to shop. I don't have to do anything. It's great. Suzanne says full-time job plus law school is called sleep. Free time is sleep. Yeah, I bet. So let's move into our first topic. And first topic I would like to talk about is fitness boxing for the Switch, which, as you might expect, is a motion control game where you grab the Joy-Cons and you punch them rhythmically as kind of a Wii Fit workout kind of thing. So I saw a trailer for this a while back, and I was like, yeah, it looks like exactly what you expect it to be. There's like 6 different virtual trainers who will left punch, right punch, and I'm punching with the wrong hands for some reason. So, whatever. Not for me, but I came across the realization that fitness boxing was rated T for teen. And it's like, why? So I went to the ESRB's website to look at the teen. It says mild violence and suggestive themes. And reading the rating summary, it says, this is a fitness boxing simulation game in which players can learn and perform boxing routines by following timed prompts along with an on-screen timer. Gameplay is mostly solo single player, consisting of cues for the players to jab, uppercut, and dodge. When engaging in 2-player mode, players control small boxers as they punch and dodge in timed on-screen cues. All of the female characters have breast physics incorporated into their movements. Their breasts frequently jiggle/bounce in a noticeable manner during stretching and boxing routines. Okay, so the game is rated T for jiggle physics. Well, that's interesting. That's a conversation by itself, but I was thinking, I saw the trailer for this game. What jiggle physics? So I rewatched the trailer, and I'm sitting in front of my computer, doing this, staring at the digital women's breasts, looking for any movement. And I'm watching it. I'm like, I'm not seeing much. if any. I mean, their bangs have more movement than their busts do. So I downloaded the demo and I played through it a little bit. And then I said, okay, I don't have the patience for this. So I actually watched, scrolled through like 3 different uh, first look kind of videos. And I was like, yeah, I mean, there's some movement there, but I mean, if you have breasts and you're doing this, you're gonna have some movement no matter how amazing your sports bra is. Um, so, but what I found is that there's one character whose breasts are a bit more free than others. Like her sports bra just doesn't work right. Um, I mean, it's nowhere near the level of like the jiggle physics in something like the Senran Kagura games, or the Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball,
Yeah, general
Dead or
idea.
Alive games. Period. Um, so I thought that was kind of weird. And then I thought, you know what else is interesting is the ESRB does not play the game and go, whoop, whoop, them's jigglies are physicking, so we need to make this teat. No, uh, the publisher fills out a form, and the ESRB rates it accordingly, and then they spot check some of the stuff later.
Yeah.
So what happened here is the publisher actually wrote on their form somewhere has jiggle physics because they knew there was enough movement there to be
Well, is this going to be a physical release?
I have
Because
no
if it's a physical release, and I think a lot of, if it's a physical release, then from my understanding, you're supposed to submit a video showing all of the worst content your game has. So, like, if you wrote jiggle physics in your description, you would have to include a portion of video that shows what you mean by jiggle physics. And
yeah,
and
yes, there's a physical release.
yeah, so I would assume somebody at the ESRB actually watched this or watched some video of this
Yeah, but
and decided that, yeah, that's jiggly enough to be a T rating. Um,
one of the character there's I think there's 6 fitness trainers.
yeah, there's 6.
4 of
I'm
them are
looking at
female.
a page. Yeah, there's 4 females: Lynn, Sophie, Martina, Laura, and then there's 2 guys:
Yep.
Bernardo and Evan.
And all 4 females are quite well endowed. Which is interesting because if you look at the physiques of most kickboxing instructors, they're usually going to have more lithe figures. I can't think of any cardio or no, I can think of one. I can't think of very many big cardio instructors who have like a C cup or greater. And I think these characters are all at least a C. But only one of the characters I noticed actually had really any noticeable movement. The others, you really had to look for it.
Well, one of the characters, I think this is Min, but she wears a tracksuit, so it's
Mhm.
like I'm just like, there's
Well, there are different outfits, so it'll be
that's
interesting.
true.
Do different outfits affect the amount of physics? Because when I first saw the character I'm talking about, who has the most physics, I thought, oh, she's not wearing a sports bra under her sports jersey or whatever the heck she was wearing. But then I looked closer. I'm like, oh, she actually is. You can see it. The shoulder straps on the top. She just has more movement than everyone else. But it's an interesting question. Breasts do move, especially if you're jumping up and down. Even if you're wearing a nice sports bra, they're going to
Yeah.
move. That's what they do. Um, so, do you think it's appropriate Let me put my opinion out there. My question is, should Jiggle physics automatically bump a rating up to T? I think if the movement is realistic and not purposefully titillating, then no.
Yeah.
If it's something like Senran Kagura or Dead or Alive, where they're just flopping all over the place, and the idea, the point is the breasts move, because that's sexy somehow. Uh, then yeah, I mean, if
Yeah.
sexuality is the point, I think that's kind of what people want. Generally, consumers want to know when they're looking at the age ratings. But I can't imagine that most consumers would be like, this sports bra clad woman's bust is moving slightly when she jumps up and down. I that that doesn't strike me as something that would concern most potential
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Exactly. And well, and the fact that this is a fitness game, I think that would go into it, because the market for fitness games would be it's going to be mostly women, and I doubt any of them are going to look at this and get offended in any way, because I've seen more Jiggle in a Disney movie than what I'm watching in this. It's there. It's like I don't see anything in that video you sent that to me makes this a T-rated game, unless one of the unlocked outfits is a
Unless,
string bikini or
yeah,
something.
unless there's something I haven't. What I've seen
Yeah.
so far, I'm inclined to disagree with the need to have it.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, I disagree. I want, but from what I can tell, there's not a their publisher, the developers, doesn't seem to be challenging or appealing the rating. So
Yeah, yeah. So, um,
yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know either. It's just okay, because I'm trying to think if there's any other
I just thought it
fitness
was kind of weird.
games that got a T rating, but
I
I
mean,
can't think of any off the top of my head, because I know Wii Fit's rated E10, I think. Um,
let's see.
Jillian Michaels Fitness is rated E. That was the first
Xbox
thing that I
Fitness
could.
E, Zumba Fitness World Party E, Move Fitness E, Your Shape Fitness Evolve 2013 is E10 plus. For mild lyrics. Okay, that
Yeah,
makes sense. Zumba Fitness Core is 10E plus again for mild lyrics and suggestive themes. Uh,
yeah, yeah,
it's the song lyrics is what they're talking about.
yeah.
Uh,
If it has song
Zumba
lyrics,
Fitness 2 is T. Um, it's for lyrics again. Uh, hmm. Yeah, the rest of them are. Yeah, the only one I think fitness boxing is just is the only that I could see. You might be able to find some others, but so far as I know,
yeah,
it's the only one for the character models, rather than just suggestive themes and bad words in the song list.
yeah,
But if anyone gets a chance, go ahead and fitness boxing. Look at a couple videos. Just scrub through them and see what I'm talking about. The movement for most of the characters is you really have to be looking for it to really notice it. Um,
yeah.
just one character moves a bit, and it almost came across as like, oh, she's glitching. Um, but he just because it was so
Yeah.
unlike the other two characters that I had seen. So, but to be, I didn't look at either of the male characters. Maybe they're not wearing anything supportive under their loose gym shorts, and they're flopping all over the place. So
Yeah, I doubt that, because
I
they would
doubt that too. But
the
they totally
ESRB listing would have included that, I would think.
floppy junk. So all
Yeah.
right, let us move on.
All
And I
right.
want to briefly talk about Bowsette again. The person who came up with the first comic strip that catapulted Bowsette into internet fame was given an award, an actual physical award, uh, from Nico Nico, which is it's kind of like Japanese YouTube,
Yeah.
and Pix IV, or Pix IV.
Fix it.
I'm really not sure, but I had to look them up. They're a online community for artists. Okay. Uh, so they sent an award for let's see, what does it say? Bump bump. It's in Japanese. I can't read it, but I think what it is that like the 20th trendiest thing on the internet this year, next to Stormy Daniels' Fortnite 4K romantic trans stuff, tattoos, Tinder. I think that's actually the search terms on Pornhub or something like that. Yeah, that's what that is. But apparently, it's the like the 20th. I'm scrolling through something else. Bowsette made number 9 on the Pornhub's top searches, and this guy got a little physical award for 20th trending thing
On the internet. That is actually really, really interesting. That somebody actually said, "Let's make physical awards for memes and send them out to people."
Well, I like the fact that the person who popularized the Bowsette idea actually got credit for it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, a lot of times memes like this will, they'll take off, and then, people will
person who
instantly
made it will be,
forget,
yeah,
who made it, and this one, I got to give credit to pretty much everybody that reported on it. They all linked back in some way to your source comic with
yeah.
the author credit. So that was
Epic could learn a lot from this with their implementation of dances in Fortnite. It's nice to give credit, even if you don't have to. It's nice to give credit to the
yeah,
originators of what you're capitalizing on. You
yeah.
But nothing much to say on that one. I just thought it was. I just thought.
Yeah, it's just it is a really fun thing, and the person who made the comic drew a little comic of Bowsette holding the trophy while Toadette looks on in frustration, and
Yeah,
it's
it's like,
great.
dude, what am I chopless? It's like, hey, hey.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, more power to this guy. He made something people loved and got credit for it, and everything. I'm glad for you. Congratulations on the award. And Haniwa or AYYK92 is his Twitter handle. So check that out.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to another quick one, and let's talk about video game movies briefly. So, video game movies, really adaptations of any kind of so-called geeky property, tend to follow the same stupid problem.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, like you have this fantastical world of these alien beings, like the Thundercats or whatever, and you know that whenever they make a movie, they're either going to try to bring the Thundercats to Earth or bring an Earthling to Thundera to
Yeah.
hang out with the Thundercats. They have that audience POV thing. They did
Yeah.
that with the He-Man movie. They're doing that with I think the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. They're doing that with the Monster
Well,
Hunter movie.
technically, Sonic the Hedgehog takes place in our world or in a world like ours where there
Yeah,
are
I guess.
humans and stuff. So
Sonic
yeah,
does
that one's a little less.
that's canon, I guess.
Yeah, that one's a little less frustrating. But the
Mhm.
Mario Brothers
Mario
world, we
Brothers
had
movie
that
did that.
one. Yeah,
Yeah.
Mario Brothers movie. Um, golly, how many video game? I'm trying to think of other video game movies.
Yeah.
But
Transformers focused way too hard on Bumblebee
on
was
the
doing
people.
that way, but
Oh, nice.
Transformers is not about the Transformers. It's about the
Sam Witwicky.
Sam,
Yeah.
whatever his name is. Um,
Yeah.
so they're making a Minecraft movie, and my thought was, oh, gamers are going to get sucked into the screen and end up in the world of Minecraft. They're going to do something stupid like that. So I was very pleased to read this synopsis in Variety this week. Based on the globally popular video game that everyone loves except Andrew, the story follows a teenage girl and her unlikely group of adventurers who, after the malevolent Ender Dragon sets out on a path of destruction, must save their beautiful, blocky overworld. Now, that doesn't mean that these characters aren't transported into Minecraft from Earth or whatever, but the way it's phrased does sound like it's characters who live in Minecraft land fighting for their blocky blocks. It sounds like an actual Minecraft movie. And I was like, "Oh, that's nice. You're actually making a Minecraft movie." Mortal Kombat did this really well. They just made I mean, it's not the greatest movie ever, but they just made a Mortal Kombat movie.
Yeah. But with Minecraft, there's a lot to work with there because there's been several children's novels written that take place in the Minecraft world. We have two Telltale games that have been made in the Minecraft world, and each of these, as far as I'm aware, they're all based on characters actually in the Minecraft world doing stuff in the Minecraft world, and not any point of view human characters sucked into the video game like Captain In or something.
Yeah. But, of course, it's going to end up being the gal and her friends get sucked into the world of Minecraft and defend it from the Ender Dragon. Oh, no.
Yeah, that's always been something that kind of annoys me in media, is when characters from our world get sucked into other worlds.
That's what you do in the 8th film.
Yeah.
After you've been to space.
Yeah.
Well, you have nothing
after you've been to space. Yeah. Leprechaun, Jason. Yeah. But the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon, where it was just kids who got sucked into a fantasy world, and countless anime. Can't think of any off the top of my head, but I know I've watched a couple, or at least a couple of first episodes of some that were just that premise. And
that time I got reincarnated as a slime, essentially that premise. Guy dies and is reincarnated in Dungeons and Dragons land.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, that does happen in anime quite a fair amount.
Yeah. But
another one that I saw the last year, and can't remember what it's called.
I don't know. But the Minecraft movie is also interesting because it's supposed to be coming out later this year, but they're just now getting a director actually on board to finish this thing. So I don't even know how far along they are in this.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Maybe it'll never come out. And as soon as I mentioned that time I was reincarnated as a slime, Matthew and Suzanne are, I love that show. I watched a few episodes. Okay. It's cute. It's definitely cute, and it's very watchable. My problem is kind of with it is just kind of petty, in that 6 episodes in, I still have no earthly clue where the show is going. Like, what's the point? What's the plot? What are we working towards? Also, every problem that they run into so far is just immediately solved by our OP slime, which means there's no tension in the show at all. It's still cute, it's still fun, and what it's doing, at least for the first 6 steps, let me use my god powers to make the world a nice place. And you know what? That's okay. I'm like, honestly, even if the show never goes anywhere or has a point or any dramatic tension at all, just seeing a dude using his powers to make the world a nice place is
Yeah.
really nice. I don't mind that at all. So, all right, let us move on. So, have you seen the Babadook? No, not the Babadook.
Bandersnatch.
Bandersnatch. Thank you.
No, I have not had a chance to sit down and watch that yet, or I guess
Okay.
play that.
Do you know how it works?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can only guess.
Well, it plays like a telltale, or yeah, telltale game
Mm-hmm.
where you're watching the film, and then
It's a show on Netflix, right?
yeah, it's on Netflix. You're watching it, and then a prompt comes up, and you have a choice. Like, do I eat Frosted Flakes or Rice Krispies?
Mm-hmm.
And you as the viewer can pick which of those options you can do.
So
And there's a default. You have a there's a certain amount of time that you have to pick something, or else it just goes to the default choice.
Okay.
But
So
then
it's essentially dozens of different clips that you navigate with your remote.
yeah, and it's all seamless. Like there's no pauses or anything in between each clip,
Oh.
or at each choice. You just it just goes through, and you watch it. You can pull you watch it in about an hour, about 2 hours, 2.5 hours, I think is what most people say it takes.
Unless
And
you
it's
need to see every single scene, and then it's going to
well,
take you.
yeah. Apparently, there's like there's over like 30 hours of footage that you could possibly end up watching. I think.
That seems like a lot.
Yeah, it's just there's just you're not going to be sitting there and watching all of it at once. It's or maybe it's not that much footage, but it's like if you were actually tried to watch everything, like see every possible uh narrative branch, it would take you several days of just watching. And yeah, but the reaction has been pretty mixed. Some people really like it and had fun with it. Other people are just like, yeah, it's okay. Yeah, but I really want to watch it, but it's just I haven't had the time to just sit down and watch a movie, full length movie, and actually interact with it. So I just haven't gotten around to it yet.
So you could call it, say, a choose your own adventure Netflix show.
Oh, maybe, but
I
you
wouldn't get in
probably don't
trouble.
want to. You don't want to get in trouble. Yeah, this is kind of weird because I grew up and I read choose your own adventure novels, and
Yep.
I think I read the specifically choose your own adventure branded ones, and then other ones that were released as well that
Yeah,
weren't
I have a
branded
few on
that.
my bookshelf. So
Yeah, and so I used to love them. One of my favorite ones was about this kid who stumbles upon these tunnels that allows him to travel through time, and and it was fun because it's like one of the endings that I ended up ending on was him stuck on a reef in in the middle of early Earth when most of the Earth was covered in water, and it's like this little reef was all the land there was, with as far as he could see, and that was the end of that. And he got to see the Loch Ness monster, and found out that it's a plesiosaur that traveled through one of the tunnels in the bottom of the loch, yeah, that Scottish loch and everything. And it was a fun book to read. I like that one.
did you keep your fingers in certain pages?
Oh yeah, I always
go
did
back
that.
in case you died.
Yeah, I always did that. It's just like, yep, this is my last choice. Let's see if I die, and then I can go back and do the other choice. Um, but yeah, that was a lot of fun. I even did another one that was kind of an RPG where you actually had a character. You rolled a character in at the beginning of the book, and then you could actually fight monsters and stuff as you went through that story. And that one was fun too. I like that one.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I think I would probably enjoy Bandersnatch once I actually sat down and watched it, but yeah, I haven't gotten around to it yet.
So, what's the story here with the choose your own adventure angle?
All right. So with in Bandersnatch, the movie is based on is all based around a 1980s video game company. They make text adventures and other adventure games like you would see, like, you know, Adventure of Zork and now I can't remember. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The old text adventures and other stuff.
Games.
And
Galaxy had one.
yeah, Hitchhiker. That was the one that I was trying to think of. I wanted to say the the restaurant at the end of the universe. I'm like, no, that's not the name of that game, but that is part of the series. Yeah, but yeah. So it's about this video game company, and this kid wants to make a video game based on a book called the Bandersnatch, and this movie is about this kid and the making of this, or well, the video game never gets made. It's one of those games that were never released type things, and yeah, so that you control this kid throughout the movie. And at one point, the kid is describing the Bandersnatch as a choose your own adventure book because he's trying to sell it to his boss and or whoever is in charge of projects at the video games company. And this caught the attention of ChooseCo, the company that owns the trademark for Choose Your Own Adventure. And they decided to sue Netflix for trademark infringement. And honestly, I read through this, and I am not seeing a case here.
So, do they? My first thought was when I had heard about this, I was like, I was thinking along the lines of copyright infringement, like ChooseCo was saying, you can't use the whole choose your own path idea. That's ours. And I was like, oh, you jerks. And then I reread the article headline. I'm like, trademark. I'm like, is there a choose your own adventure book in the show? My read on the article you sent me is they name drop it at some point in the show.
Yeah. I'll read you this. I gotta find the actual thing. Okay, so the protagonist of Bandersnatch is a young programmer named Stefan Butler. In the first sequence of the film, viewers learn that Butler is preparing for a meeting to pitch a demo of a video game that he has been working on. Butler tells his father that his game is based on a fictional book titled Bandersnatch by a fictional author named Jerome F. Davies. Butler's father remarks that Davies must not be a good writer because Butler is always flicking backwards and forwards in that, referring to how you would go back to where you were to make a different choice. This feature, flipping back and forth, is a hallmark of Choose Your Own Adventure book. Butler responds next that Bandersnatch is a Choose Your Own Adventure book. And the actual they include a clip or picture with the subtitles on, and it says this has Butler saying, no, it's a choose your own adventure book, and the choose your own adventure is in quotes. And then he says, and next Butler says, you decide what your character does. And this one clip is essentially what this lawsuit is based on. I read through everything else, and they're just trying to make it sound like Netflix has branded this whole show as a choose your own adventure show, and that's how they're advertising it and everything. And I'm just like, I read through this a couple of times. I'm like, okay, let's get to the part where Netflix actually uses choose your own adventure in its advertising, and they don't bring that up at all. So apparently Netflix has never actually used that phrasing in any of its advertising. So basically their problem is this is a show where you choose what the protagonist does, and that affects the outcome of the story. So that's the one thing that the character actually uses choose your own adventure in the script of the show, and that the show is a TVMA, and their books are typically for kids, and that's their whole problem. That's where they're coming up with this lawsuit, and as far as I can tell, nothing about this is trademark infringement.
I wonder if the line had been changed to no, it's like a choose your own adventure book instead of no, it's a choose your own adventure book. Because it's just a line of dialogue. None of the branding is there. To me, it seems like there would be no audience confusion. Like, oh, is it really a choose your own adventure book? And associate this with choose code.
Yeah,
And
I
again,
don't.
a lot of people are dumb, so
Well,
who knows?
and this is this is one of the issues with trademark, is that one of dilution and one of generic genericizing.
Mhm.
I don't know if that's the proper term, but when a brand becomes generic, generically referred to, like Band-Aid. You go, you cut yourself, you go and get a Band-Aid. It doesn't matter if it's the Walmart Equate brand or what. You just call it a Band-Aid because that's what you call it. But Band-Aid is a trademarked term, but it's become pretty generic. And honestly, to me, I would think Choose Your Own Adventure is pretty generic, even back in the heyday when they were super popular and everybody was writing them. Even though theirs weren't called Choose Your Own Adventure, the reader still called them Choose Your Own Adventure books, because that was a very descriptive term for what you were doing. And and I had read in a few places other other brands that came out at that around that same time, and I can't think of any specific ones off the top of my head because I don't have that article open up anymore. But yeah, but I can't think of anything in this lawsuit that really sells me that they have a case, because incidental use of a copyrighted term or a trademark term is fair. You can't claim that a character using a brand name in a script is trademark infringement, especially when they're referring to something that is that. So if my script says, "Hey, go get me a Band-Aid," Johnson and Johnson can't come and sue me because I use their trademark term,
Right.
because that's what my character needs a Band-Aid, and they go and get one.
Sure, but they would go and actually get a Band-Aid. Maybe what ChooseCo is complaining about is like, this is a choose your own adventure book, and they're like, no, that is not a choose your own adventure book. If he actually had a choose your own adventure book, we wouldn't have a problem. But
that could be part of the problem, but I don't think that's that's going to really sway a court either, because in a script, somebody says, "Hey, go Google that for me." It doesn't
and
matter if they actually use Google or they use generic made up browser or search engine. That it's Google is a pretty generic term in that case. And it would be, Google itself or Alphabet would be very hard pressed to convince a judge or a jury that saying "go and Google that for me" is a violation of trademark. So,
all right, interesting. It'd be interesting to see where that goes.
I'm expecting it to be settled really quickly. I doubt it will go to court. I don't think that.
Here's
I
a
don't
10
think
spot.
ChooseCo is going to have a. I don't think.
Like, do they publish books still? Do
I
they
don't know.
have
I haven't
any
actually
output these
looked.
days?
Let's see. Choose Co. Every choose your own CYOA.com. Hey, look at that. They got in that early. Let's see. Do they have stuff published or listed by bestsellers? Sort by date, new to old. Let's see. Gift cards, one of their best sellers. I don't know. Let's see. Chimera. Let's look at this one. Or Were Girl. See if this has a published date on it. Because I'm actually curious about this now that you mention it. Publication date, November 1st, 2017. So, yeah, they still publish books. But, yeah, so apparently they still publish books, which so they have a brand that they're actively using. So it's not like they're from the 80s and holding on to a trademark that they don't use anymore. But
Okay.
yeah, so I'm sure that they will. We'll see that in like a month and a half or 2 months, we'll see that they settled, and we'll never know what the actual settlement was, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But,
So, new topic. There is a game on the Switch and PC called, I think it's Gris, Gris.
I just call it Gris in my head.
I'll call it Gris.
Yeah.
So it's one of those very artistically driven games where from what I haven't played it, haven't played a demo, but the reviews have said it's not hard, it's not challenging, it's just kind of emotional and beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, okay, cool. So it's one of those. Devolver Digital, publisher for the game, had a Facebook ad, and the ad was yanked by Facebook for being sexually suggestive. Now, looking at the ad, it's a silhouetted picture of a woman who is not naked. Well, it's the silhouetted picture of a statue of a woman who is not naked.
Yep.
Keep in mind that you can search Facebook for pictures of naked statues all the live long day, and that's fine. You can find a lot of violence, violent rhetoric, racism on Facebook. They seem to be okay with that, but they weren't okay with this particular advert for Gris. So it got yanked. But Facebook actually said, it's not as stupid as Devolver Digital would lead you to believe. It's stupider. So it wasn't the actual ad. It was the fact that the ad linked to, in some way, Devolver Digital's Instagram, which has a picture somewhere on the Instagram of Scum, which is a different game, and it has a picture of a butt, a male butt, a very hirsute male's butt, and not a photograph of an actual person, but a animated in-game character. Now, I'm not. I haven't seen the ad because it got pulled, but I'm not sure if it was like you clicked on the ad and it went to a video, and then the link to Devolver Digital's Instagram was in the video, and if you follow that, you could find this image on the Instagram. I don't know how many degrees of Kevin Bacon that actually was, but at the end of the day,
this update on Polygon makes it, that's what it sounds like. The ad sent you to YouTube and to watch the video or something along those lines, and in the video description there's all the links. Here's our website, here's our Instagram, our Twitter, or all that, and the Instagram has that butt on it.
In that sense, Facebook should reject every single advert that clicks to anywhere on the internet, because that could eventually lead you to nudity.
Yeah. Well, this is like way back in the early days of the iPhone, the Gutenberg project. They're a website that puts up video or public domain books for you to freely download
Mhm.
and read. And they created a mobile app so that you could download books off of their website and read them in their app. And Apple um, initially rejected their app because users of the app could download the Kama Sutra. and and everybody was just like, seriously, Apple, you should take down your own Safari browser then, because everybody can use the Safari browser to go and look at porn.
Yeah.
um, it was completely stupid and incidental usage of an app. And this is, to me, the same thing. It's like, oh, if you follow that ad and click this and this and this and this, you'll eventually get to some nudity, so therefore your ad is not acceptable to us.
Yeah.
I would think if the ad linked directly to the butt image or to the
Or
Instagram where the butt
the butt
image
image.
was, I could think, okay, well, that would make sense. But that's an incidental link on the website that the ad is taking you to. The
And
ad isn't pointing you there.
and it was it Instagram or Tumblr that just said no porn?
It was Tumblr.
Oh, okay.
Tumblr decided
Never
to
mind.
take down all their porn. Um,
I was
well,
going to
not
make a
all their
aha
porn,
point, but it's Tumblr, not Instagram. So
yeah.
anyway, so Facebook is dumb. I think
Yeah,
it's
I think that's pretty much safe to say, because this is just,
it's like,
it's an
how did that
incredibly
even
dumb
come up?
decision.
Did someone complain? Did someone
No,
click
no,
on the
this was
ad?
all part of the approval process to get the ad on
Like,
Facebook.
I'm amazed that Facebook is actually looked into it. That like, okay, let's consider your ad. Let's click on the ad. Let's watch the video. Oh, let's follow the links. Let's browse where the links are. Oh, that I'm like, you put that much work into your approval process? How is your site filled with so much hate speech then?
Yeah. Well, and that was a question that's been raised. It's, because people are like, well, I've reported this user and their post like 50,000 times, and Facebook has rejected or has done nothing about it, or rejected all of my reports or whatever. And it's like, they have two different departments here. They have the ad approval, and then they
They have the
over
butt
here, and then
department.
they have the
Department.
complaint department over here, which is just a virtual paper shredder. But the ad ones, they're very
The ad
proactive, and
because that's where the money comes from.
yeah, that's where the money comes from, and that's
That's
where a
that's what
lot of their headaches with governments and stuff come from, is the ads part of it. But yeah, so
inappropriate ads, those can affect our bottom line, but we don't want to remove hate speech because we can sell ads on them.
yeah, exactly.
Depressing, isn't it? All right, let's move on to here's a fun one. Uh, Fortnite, or rather Epic, got an F in customer service from the Better Business Bureau. The Better Business Bureau said on its website that's awarding Epic with an with an F, which is the lowest possible grade it can get, and said that Epic has 247 unanswered customer complaints on its website, and by its website, it means the Better Business Bureau's website. So the Better Business Bureau has given Epic an F for not fielding the questions on a website that Epic doesn't own. So that's kind of funny to me. There
Yeah.
are 247 unanswered questions for Epic on the Better Business Bureau's website, but Epic doesn't do anything about them because it probably doesn't read the BBB site.
Yeah.
It
Well,
says
and
we've answered most all of those questions on our own channels. If you have a problem with us, come to us because we'll actually do. We might do something about it,
yeah,
unless it give credit to the people who were making money off of. Then we're not going to do that. But
yeah. Well, and and to be honest, Epic has no obligation whatsoever to pay any attention to the BBB because they're not a government body, so there's no punishment that anybody could rain down on them. And two, the BBB is a voluntary service, and Epic doesn't have to associate with them in any way.
right.
So yeah, there are companies out there that do care about their BBB rating, um, but most companies just ignore it. To be honest, I had completely forgot about the BBB until you sent the link to this article because
Yeah, it's not an organization I typically
yeah,
mind share to.
it was a company that was on the forefront of my mind back when the Consumerist was a website worth reading,
Mhm.
before it was sold off and to or I don't know, was it sold off? I can't remember, but eventually it kind of lost its mojo, and then it got shut down a few years ago. But the BBB was something that they frequently talked about, because one of their tips for dealing with certain companies was make a complaint to the BBB because this company actually cares what its rating is, and if they start to see complaints on the BBB, they'll actually pay attention. But yeah, that I haven't thought about the organization in forever. Uh, but yeah, I just say, Epic has no reason to care what the BBB thinks.
Yep. According to Kotaku, Valve is a multi-year holder of the F. Also, oh hey, the Resident Evil 2 one-shot demo's done downloading.
Nice.
So I still have to finish Danganronpa, another episode, Ultra Despair Girls. That's a cumbersome name.
It's like the Birds of Prey movie is now the Birds of Prey.
Harley Quinn's super
Harley,
awesome adventures of
yeah, the amazing emancipation of Harley Quinn or something like
something like
that.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I like the title. I think it's pretty fun.
it is.
But
It
I
is.
like goofy titles. So,
Yeah.
you think I'd like the Kingdom Hearts games more if I like goofy titles? But
Well, the
Kingdom
goofy
Hearts
titles
4,
have to be fun to say, and
yeah,
three.
they're not goofy. They're just what is that?
Yeah, yeah. What is it?
I mean, if
385.
I have to
Yeah.
pull up the character map to actually write your title correctly, I am not a happy boy.
Yeah.
So, one more quick topic before we get out of here.
All right.
Nintendo released the story trailer for Yoshi's Crafted World because we were all desperate to know what the story of this game was. But they released the story trailer, and the story is there's a magic MacGuffin that it gets split into 5 or 6 pieces, and you have to go to each themed world to get it, and then they probably come together, and then the bad guys steal it, and you have to beat up the bad guys, and that's it. It's the same plot in every Nintendo game.
Yeah.
So the bad guys this time are Kamek and Baby Bowser. Not to be confused with Bowser Jr., even though they look almost exactly the same. Because I watched the trailer and they said, and Baby Bowser, and I went, did you guys rename him? That's Bowser Jr. And I thought about it and went, oh, wait a minute. Baby Bowser was actually a thing in like the Yoshi's Island games.
Hmm.
And then Bowser Jr. came out in the Mario Sunshine game, and really one of the only differences between the two characters and the way they look is Bowser Jr. wears that really stupid bib
bib
with
thing,
the monster face on it,
yeah.
so that he can pull it over his face. I hate that design with a passion. I've always hated it. I mean, I get it.
Yeah,
I
I
just
had
hate
to.
it.
Yeah, I had to look that up because you sent me this video, and I'm just like, I had to look up what Baby Bowser and Bowser Jr. looked like,
Yeah, it's
and yeah, it's that bib is pretty
well,
much the
handkerchief, I guess.
difference.
It
But
really does, but
yeah,
yeah. So my humble opinion to Nintendo, because I have many opinions, they are very humble, and I'm always willing to offer them. Uh, is redesign the characters and make them a bit more distinct because they look exactly the same. If a Nintendo dork like me can look at a character and mistake it for another, you probably want to rethink that design a little bit,
yeah,
or just kill off Bowser Jr. and just use Baby Bowser because no, you've got 7 Koopa kids. And then that Boom Boom character who's like the mid boss all the time. He's like so generic he doesn't even really get a name. Um, no one, nobody likes Bowser Jr. So just get rid of him. Even oh man, what if Bowser Jr. wait, is Bowser Jr. in Smash Brothers?
yes, he rides around in the clown
The Clown
copter.
Copter.
Yeah.
Uh oh wait, isn't the alternate costume like all the other Koopa kids?
Yeah. All the other Koopa kids
Okay,
are
that makes
alternate
it more
skins for him.
palatable.
Yeah.
I look at it as the Koopa Kids, or you could use Bowser Jr. as an alternate skin. Um,
Yeah.
but man, you have him, but not Waluigi.
Yeah, but Bowser Jr. is an actual Nintendo creation. You know,
No, was
Waluigi is just
Waluigi Camelot or someone? Who came up with Waluigi?
the Mario Tennis guy, the developers who made that.
That was Camelot, right?
I think so. Yeah, because
Okay.
they needed Wario needed a tennis partner,
Can you
and
imagine Camelot being like, Nintendo, why aren't you using Waluigi? And Nintendo's like, well, we can't because it's not our character, it's yours. And Camelot's like, yeah, Cloud says hi. And Pac-Man and Mega Man and Ryu and
Snake. Yeah,
Snake and Bayonetta and Sonic.
yeah.
So
Nintendo just hates Waluigi. That's all it is.
I think
Yeah,
well,
they
he is an assist trophy, so there's
yeah. He's the redheaded foster stepchild
they
of
should redesign
Nintendo.
him and give him red hair. Just
Yeah.
so. All right, I think that's the show for tonight. So thanks everyone for hanging out. Let's plug our stuff and get out of here. Andrew Eisen here. Eisen is how you spell the last name, and plug it into YouTube. You'll find my YouTube videos at Andrew Eisen on Twitter. And tomorrow, very special. Tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I will be doing a Let's Play with Nintendo Labo.
Ooh,
So
nice.
that should be interesting.
Will this be your first play, or
yeah.
have you actually? So, have you constructed anything yet for that, or are you going to do that all during that Let's Play?
I'll show you. Hang on a second. Which one is it? What's this? So I turned it on just to make sure, just to get any tutorial crap out of the way, just because no one cares.
Yeah.
And so I didn't spend the first 20 minutes of the video learning how to play. And it takes you through a quick tutorial to make this. What is this? It's a holder for the Joy-Con. Wow.
Nice.
Why? I don't know. I mean, it's just a thing that you can make real quick. Just to get you familiar with how to operate the
How to fold the paper and everything.
well, how to yeah, how to do where's the thing? There it is. Let's unfold this real quick. Eh. Well, that's in there pretty good. But get out of there. There we are. Boy, these things actually put together really nicely. Once it's in, it's in. You're not supposed to take it apart. So, it's one solid piece like this that you punch out of a piece of a larger sheet of cardboard. You punch out the little holes, and then one of the things it teaches is you have to pre-crease everything so that it can bend and hold its shape properly.
Mm-hmm.
And then it says, okay, so fold the piece over, and then get the other bit around and put that tab into the slot, and boom, you have got a holder for your Joy-Con. Wee. So I did the opening tutorial of here. What it is mainly is just crease the thing first. Tabs go into slots.
Yeah.
The main thing really for me was learning how to navigate the. I wanted to make sure that I could actually you could do the Nintendo Labo thing on your TV so that I could actually stream it.
Yeah.
And you can. You can control it with that's a PlayStation controller. You can control it with the Pro controller. It's a little weird because you figure that each step you just hit the A button and it would advance to the next step. No, you have to hold the A button until it decides to move on to the next step, which makes you feel like you're going to hold it too long and just blow past a step. So my initial impressions are, I really don't like the way that the UI works for navigating the tutorial. But so tomorrow, I think we'll make the fishing rod, because I think that's my sister's favorite.
Yeah.
So the time estimate on it is 90 to 120 minutes. So should be a good hour and a half, 2 hour show. So if you want to come watch me play with cardboard, you are very welcome to. So that's tomorrow, Sunday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Let's Labo. So Zachary, plug away.
All right, you can follow me on Twitter at Easy Night, where I talk about gaming and politics and other things. You can follow my game development work at DK_gaming on Twitter and DivineKnightGaming.com. And if you're interested in the Oklahoma game development scene, you can check out OK Game Devs on Twitter and OKGameDev.com.
All right. You've been listening to the 129th episode of Molehill Mountain Podcast. Thank you very much. Take care. We will see you next week. Bye, everyone.
All right. See ya.